It's November 3rd, and beaver and otter season opened yesterday. I only got a couple sets out, like a dozen. Just grabbed a raccoon right by the house, and I was driving on this dirt road here, public land, and saw the swamp out here. No beaver sign or activity, but there's this little little runway here where something's been traveling through. So I just put at the narrow spot, put a 330 conibear, and then threw a little bit of beaver caster lure nearby just to get him over here if there was one. I was mostly expecting to catch either a muskrat or an otter, but looks like we got a little beaver. All right, so not a bad start to my late trap line. All right, I set a couple traps out here in this beaver pond yesterday. You can see a very old beaver dam there. No recent activity, no fresh cuttings. We do have a beaver lodge right there, though, that it looks like it's active. But again, I haven't seen any fresh cuttings around here at all. I did find a couple of bank den entrances. You can see those two sticks right there. And the bottom was worn smooth with no silt or leaf buildup. So I was pretty sure there was beaver in here. So I set 1, 2, and then a caster mount around the corner. And just checking today, we see this right here. Oh, that's a pretty good sized beaver right there. It's hard to get a photo in the water. Yeah, good size. All right, so only had a couple sets out. All right, came out to a new pond yesterday, and there appears to be some beaver activity. Big old house right here. I'm standing on an old beaver dam. You can see some fresh mud and stuff up there on the side and some fresh sticks, so we know it's pretty recent. But walking around the pond, I really haven't seen very many fresh cuttings, which is surprising. There is a maple tree right there, but even those cuttings are, I'd say, a couple months old. I came here yesterday. I set 3 body grip traps and caster mount sets, and they were untouched. So I'm pulling 2 of those, and I just walked out there and I put some stakes. I found an entrance there that's not quite over my waders, and then right down over there I found a banked in entrance there. So I'm going to move 2 of the caster mount sets to those 2 locations. All right, so it's kind of a wide entrance. I tried to block off on the side there with some extra sticks so the beaver doesn't swim around. But you want to set those all the way down right in the bottom, because they tend to kind of skim their belly on the bottom when they go in and out of houses and also in and out of bank den. So I'm going to go set the bank den next, and then see if we can find another spot. All right, so there's beaver house. I just came right down here a little ways and found a bank den entrance, which goes into, this is actually a very old beaver dam that we're on right here, like, you know, super old. But yeah, just put the stakes left and right about 18 inches apart and drop a 330 conibear down there, and hopefully we'll have one tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna walk out and check this trap I set in front of the entrance of this house. All right, that was just a small beaver. As you can see, he was going into the house. So just reset it. It's kind of deep there, so just set it all the way at the bottom. And what I do then is I step on the springs to get them down in the mud and held firmly, and then put a few blocking sticks on the left and right. All right, we got one more trap to check. That's my third beaver of the day. All right, when I said I had one more trap to check, I just meant on this pond. I still have that other long walk in where I got the two big ones yesterday. So I have 6 traps there. So I meant one more trap at this pond. Banked in. And if we look down, we can see some fur in there. Doesn't look very big though. See all these roots here. They've been digging up lily pad roots. Yeah, not very big at all. This guy's tiny. Oh, he just wrapped around the block. All right, he's about the same size as the last one. All right, so I'm going to reset this, and then we just got one more pond to check. So 4 beavers so far for the day. I just checked that trap there in front of the entrance of that lodge, and it was still set. This banked end one here. You can see there's another little beaver in there. So with all these little guys, there should be some big ones. Like, where's your parents at? Yeah, just a little guy, and he was coming out of the bank den. So he may have already been in there, but chances are there's another entrance somewhere else. But he's even smaller than the one yesterday. Same size. All right, back out here at this pond, and I'm just gonna pull those 3 traps, those 3 330 body grip traps. Got one more small one, so that's a total of 4. But I did see one of the parents out there swimming just a minute ago. So my plan is to come back once we have a few inches of ice and set in some snare poles here around the house and try to catch the adults. All right, trapping on public land, and I know there's at least 2 other beaver trappers that are hitting all the ponds close to the road. So last February, I walked in about 3/4 of a mile from the road and found this pond and ended up getting 7 beaver out of here. So I thought I'd walk back and see if there's any new activity. And so there's an old beaver house where I was trapping last year. It's all covered in grass now, but we see a new beaver house right there, and it looks like another one right there. So there are still beaver in here, and I highly doubt any other trappers are going to be walking back through thick brush 3/4 of a mile. So I'll get I just brought 4 330 conibears, so we'll find a couple spots to put those. There's an old beaver dam over there that I found 2 banked in entrances last year, so I'll probably set those and then see if I can find any more. I've never walked down around that side of the pond, so maybe I'll check that out. All right, back out here, my first check on my secret hidden lake on public land that is too far for other guys to walk in. So I set 4 330 body grips in here yesterday. I brought 2 more with me today because I found a crossover that's heavily used, so I'm going to set one on each side. But I just came up my first caster mound set here, and looks like we got us a nice adult beaver, probably in the 45 pound range. All right, nice start. All right, so probably about 45 pounds. And for the remake here, you see I use a dive pole because the trap's sticking up out of the water about an inch, and then the dive pole's just barely above that, so they don't try going over the top. And then I just threw a little bit of fresh mud on my caster mound and another dab of lure. I used a different kind of lure, beaver lure, just to make them think there might be a different beaver here. All right, so I just I'm setting on this crossover here. You can see I have another dive pole there. It's a little deeper than it looks. That trap's underwater, probably about 4 inches. And then they're coming up here, and you can see it's just worn down to the dirt. We're going up over this little hill to get over here to this other pond. And they used it last night because there's drag marks over the top of my footprints where I walked here yesterday. You can see all these roots they've been digging up, chewing on. And then did the same thing on this side. Didn't have a big log, so I just put a bunch of sticks over the top. And that's deeper there. That one's about 8 inches under the water. So hopefully they'll just dive down all the way to the bottom and get snagged in the 330 body grip. So we'll check back tomorrow. All right, at the final trap. So I came in over there, caught that one big beaver in the caster mound. Right over there is the crossover going to the other pond. I had a trap set in the old beaver house at one of the entrances, just hoping to catch an otter more so than a beaver. They're probably not using that house at all. It's in a little bit of disrepair. And then I found an old bank den here going into this old dam, so I set a trap there. That was untouched. I'm not sure if it's being used. In my fourth trap, we have a crossover here on this is an old beaver dam I'm standing on. There's a crossover going down to the another little pond there, and then there's another smaller dam down there. So at the bottom, you can see a nice big beaver down there as well. So yeah, most states your 330 body grips have to be at least halfway submerged, so you can't set it up here on the dry ground. There's only a couple states, I think Alaska and Texas, where you can set them on dry ground. Some states that have to be totally submerged, so make sure and check your regulations. But most states it's halfway submerged, which that's what that one was, and worked just as planned. All right, so this one's even bigger than the other one, probably closer to 60 pounds, at least 55. So I didn't bring my knives. I just have a pocket knife with me. So and no sharpening stone. So I'm gonna try skinning this guy out, and the other one I'll at least gut out because it's a long walk back to the truck. Just showing the remake here on this slide, this dam brake. Not really dam brake, but dam slide, I guess. So make sure the trap is at least halfway submerged. You can see there's probably 3/4 underwater there. And then again, put a little dive stick over the top, and put some fencing down there. Just put some sticks in to make sure they don't go around left or right, and they just go right through the middle of the trap like they're supposed to. All right, turned out to be a nice day. Had a little sun there for a minute. Probably warmed up about 40 degrees. So I got the bigger beaver skinned out. Went from 60 plus pounds down to about 5 pounds. And then the smaller one I just got out and removed the tail and feet and stuff. Trimmed several pounds. They have quite a big gut pile relative to their size, so that's probably close to 40% of their body weight, 35% at least. So he went from probably, 45, 50 pounds down to 25, 30 pounds. So much easier to carry out through 3/4 of a mile of thick woods. All right, second check out on my secret hidden pond, and nice sunny day. It did get down below freezing last night, but it's supposed to be up in the mid to high 40s today. So I checked that cast around set where I caught the big one yesterday, and nothing there. So walking up on that crossover where I set a 330 body grip on each side of the crossover. There's the first one. It's still set. And there appears to be some fur sticking out of the water here. All right. Another beaver right there. Not as big as the ones yesterday, but that's okay. They're easier to carry out. All right, so nothing in the old beaver house, and then nothing in the old bank den. They really don't look like they're being used. I'm not really expecting to catch a beaver there. Just hoping to snag the curious otter that comes by. But up here at my last trap, where the slide goes over this old dam, where we caught that big 60+ pounder yesterday, and I see a big old pile of fur down there. Another nice sized beaver, and look at that fur. I don't know if you can tell, but it's not quite black, but it's very dark, extra dark brown. Nice. All right, here we have today's catch, 6 beaver. These two on the left are they look a little smaller because they were the ones that were gut out, so I can carry them out. Got one nice big fatty on the right. All right, I think I need to get a few canine sets out and a few raccoon sets. Right back here at my third check at the secret beaver pond. Coming up on my last trap on the slide over the dam, and looks like we're 3 for 3. And look at the size of that thing. Thought it was a black bear at first. Yeah, that's oh my God. Yeah, this guy's gonna be over. It's, I don't know if you can tell on the camera the size, but this guy's gonna be definitely over 70. Super dark, almost black fur. That's a top lot beaver right there. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to put him on the scale because that's a lot of weight to carry out of here, so I'm gonna probably end up skinning him out here. But not quite 100 pounds. I'm looking for my 100-pound beaver yet, but this guy's probably, let me lift him up real quick. My God, I'm gonna say 80 pounds on this thing. I know a lot of guys exaggerate their size of their beaver catch, but that is one big beaver right there. So this beaver pond looked pretty good when I first walked up here. Had a beaver house with looked like some fresh activity. trapped here for about 5 days and only got one beaver out of here, so I didn't know what was going on. I just ran into a bow hunter who was walking across the beaver dam, and he said this area was trapped out pretty hard last winter, earlier this spring, so may have just been that one beaver left. So I've just pulled all my beaver traps. Still got a couple, I got 2 bobcat sets and then a couple raccoon sets, so I might leave those for a few days. But I got this muskrat right here. So one way, there's lots of ways to trap muskrat. They're a pretty stupid rodent and easy to trap, but what you can do is just put some baby carrots right on the trigger of a small body grip trap, whether it's a 110, 120, 150, or in this case a 160, and just set it so the carrots are, you can set it above water, underwater. I tend to have better success with these baited body grips under the ice. They work really well. So when there's no ice, they're less effective, but you know, they still work sometimes. So this is that little pond right across the road from where I just was, where I just found out that this was trapped pretty hard back in the spring. I did get one beaver out of here, and I'm probably gonna pull all my traps, but I just somehow managed to get a second beaver, so I don't know. I still have 3 other traps here. I think I'll leave them. And I've got 2 coon traps and a muskrat trap, so I'll just leave them for another day at least.